Lev backtracking on those comments just a tad, taking to Twitter saying, I'm trying to win a Super Bowl. I can care less about what happens after this season. My biggest thing I'm focused on is this team I'm on right now, playing for with my brothers and bringing back a 7th ring. What happens next year is irrelevant to my goals. And one of his goals should also try to be on angry runs. So Lev, no. You got to come back. You got to keep playing. We need you. Kyle needs you for the segment. That's just the way it works.
He hasn't been on there as much as we'd like, but he's going to have a huge role, of course, in the playoffs. I'm sorry, Will, that Latavius Murray had nothing to say to you. I think it's because I told him that you dropped him from your fantasy team.
Oh, you're going to do me dirty like that.
I told him. I told him you dropped him, you bad friend, you.
Wow, doing me like that. Wow, that's just hurts right here.
When he doesn't answer those text messages back, now you know what happened. Will, we'll talk to you in a little bit. Let's talk more about the playoffs, though. Philadelphia will welcome Atlanta. And right now, live outside of Lincoln Financial Field, live in the famed K-Lot, ahead of tomorrow's Falcons-Eagles matchup, we find one Colleen Wolfe and a pair of Mikes, Mike Garafolo and Mike Robinson of GMFB Weekend. What up, guys? Let's talk about Nick Foles and what he needs to do tomorrow if the Eagles want to get that W. Take it away.
Well, Kay, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood out here.
Where is everybody?
In the parking lot. We're just really early for the game. We're super excited. Obviously, the first thing that they need to do, and Nick Foles needs to do, and the Eagles in general, they need to not panic. And I think that Doug Peterson, he's going to help sort of get that tempo and help with that because he's so calm. And he seems like he really does have a laid-back nature about him when he's coaching. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
Yeah, he does. And I tell you one thing, they're going to have to get Jay Ajayi going. So I expect Nick Foles to do a lot of handing the ball off, especially if it's cold, especially if it's a bunch of rain coming down, if the weather gets a little bit inclement. They have to maintain the line of scrimmage and control the line of scrimmage. To me, that's the only way that the Eagles have a chance to really score points and be effective offensively, because once you can run the football, you can create play action opportunities and push the ball down the field. Nick Foles has not pushed the ball downfield. I think his explosive passes, the passer rating is like at 10 something or whatever. He has to be better than that if he wants to push the ball downfield and be explosive in the passing game.
A couple of things off of that. The weather tomorrow, I think we're going to be in the 30s by game time. Right now, it's about
So this vest is not going to be enough, is what you're saying.
62 degrees. Well, we're not going to be here, so don't worry about it. It's going to be about 62 degrees right now, so much so that Mike Robb let his knees out for some air. I don't know if you can see that.
Can't see
I think the graphic is covering it. But they're going to have to run the ball. You're right. They had these physical practices over the last week and into this week because they want to get in that mindset of playing physical football. They can run the football. They rested Jay Ajayi as much as they could all year, so he'd be ready for this. They've got the closer in LeGarrette Blount. But what Nick Foles needs to do is be decisive and let that ball go, because we heard so much this week down here from these guys talking about the Falcons about how fast their defense is.
Deion Jones, they got to get blockers on him.
Those windows are look, they don't, you know, it's the Seattle defense. It's not that exotic. You know kind of what you're going to see here. Single safety high, but they're fast and they can close. So you got to make those decisions. You got to see it. You got to make decisions quickly, and you got to let it go, Nick Foles.
And for Nick Foles, you don't want to put him in a position of being in 3rd and long all the time. I mean, we saw how that goes, and it's not like Carson Wentz. You lose that ability that Carson Wentz had to extend plays and make magical things really happen on 3rd down. You don't have that with Nick Foles, so you have to pick up downs and pick up some yardage on 1st and 2nd down by running the ball.
Running the football. I tell you one thing, and I would expect Nick Foles to be under center a little bit more than we see Carson Wentz. Nick Foles operates under center a little bit better. That's just something I've seen on film. He operates a little bit better under center.
Yeah. Guys, I feel like this is crazy being on a Friday on GMFB. It's like we're kind of messing with the space-time continuum right now. Like there might be a rip in it. I don't know. Like, we're messing with forces we don't even understand right now.
That's my talk right there. Yes.
A little bit. Yo, Mike Robb, I like your jeans. I got holes in my jeans too. Twinning over here. Great stuff from you guys, and I love hearing Mike Robb talk about how it's all about Jay Ajayi and maybe them feeding him the ball, controlling the clock a little bit. Yeah. I do want to see Nick Foles go out there and like the first couple of plays just really go downfield. Maybe hit Aguilar, who's been a big catch and run guy for this season, kind of all season long. Alshon Jeffrey struggling to make those huge plays effectively. I want to see Nick Foles like do that quick.
The point of emphasis would be for him to lean on that running game right out the gate. Let's give the ball to star running backs. We know that aggressive Atlanta defense can fly around, so you want to get those safeties, those linebackers, those corners to peek into the backfield. Take a couple steps up, so then you can play action in the second and third quarter. And once they collapse, that's when you go over the top. Trying to test that defense early before you even put any pressure on them in the running game, that's when you get yourself in trouble.
Nick Foles has a lot of stuff on his shoulders right now, a lot of stuff on his plate.
Yeah.
I watched Jared Goff go up against that Falcons defense in the first quarter, did nothing. And the game got away, they couldn't catch up and couldn't get into it. Nick Foles needs to come out early, make a play, and Aguilar is the guy, okay?
Yeah?
Aguilar is the guy.
Yeah.
Get him
Put her
involved
there.
because he's been the guy all season long. You can't come out slow against this Falcons team. You just can't. It's just inexcusable.
I look at it this way, guys. I like the Eagles in this game. I think they're going to win this game, and it's just for these old meat and potatoes football reasons. Every football coach's dream, I think they run the ball, I think they stop the run, and they're playing at home. I think that is all you need. I think the Eagles win, 26-20.
And we've seen Nick Foles play really well with lesser talented pieces around him. There, I said it. We've seen him have amazing games, which led you to be convinced that he could take over this offense with Carson Wentz. If he brings his best game and does come out the gates full